Today, MGM Springfield returned to work on 3 homes, all owned by seniors, including one of them a U.S. Air Force military veteran. MGM also celebrated its anniversary month by volunteering to work on 3 homes in the Memorial Square neighborhood.
Now to West Springfield, where local family-owned business Lift Truck Parts and Service Incorporated launched a fundraiser to benefit the Dakin Humane Society. They're inviting the community to contribute with monetary donations to Dakin. They'll also be collecting items daily from 10 to 3 outside of the Springfield Animal Resource Center. For a link to donate, just head to our website, westernmassnews.com.